Hello, it's ElectraSnow, and I'm going to be talking about beauty blenders, the real ones versus the fake ones. I would be shocked if you haven't seen a beauty blender by now, but this is a real beauty blender. As you can see, it's the classic pink one. They do these in a few different colours. Now, the original beauty blender will run you about £14 to buy, and these are really good for applying foundation. There's not really anything bad I can say about them, and the only thing that I find which can happen is you kind of can miss the inside creases of your nose when you're using a beauty blender, but as long as you make sure to actually go into those areas and make sure you get them covered, that's really my only con with them. But they are really good when it comes to applying foundation because they hold on to a little bit of hydration when you get them wet, so they actually allow you to apply your foundation a lot more smoothly. Also allow you to really push it into the skin, so if you have texture like I do on certain parts of my face, you can really fill into those pores and make your skin look really smooth and flawless. As I said, these ones run you about £14, and that can be a bit steep for some people. So some people go looking for buying cheaper alternatives, and you can buy cheaper beauty blenders off of eBay, and these ones come in a pack of 4. There's actually 4 of them here somewhere on my desk, but these come in a pack of 4, and they come in these different colours. I've got an orange one and a lilac one, and these come in all sorts of different colours, and quite a few colours that the original beauty blenders don't actually come in, so that can be an indication whether you're buying a real one or not. If you can get a cheaper alternative to a beauty blender but at the same quality, I'd be all power to you to do that, because that can be a thing with these. Although they are really good for applying foundation, people might not necessarily want to spend £14 to £16 on one of these here. So they do go looking for cheaper alternatives. And there is pros and cons to these. You have to really consider what they feel like, because there is a big difference in the quality sometimes from the original to the fake ones. They don't have the same texture to them like the original beauty blender does, and they're a lot stiffer. They don't have that give that a beauty blender does. And when these ones here get wet, they don't swell up. The beauty blender itself, the original one, will swell up to be 3 or 4 times the size it is here at the moment. This one's completely dry and clean. Although this does usually occur with the fake ones, there is some fake beauty blenders that actually swell up like the original does and are the same quality, if not slightly better. And these ones are the ones that I purchased from, of all places in the world, Primark. Primark's actually got their own little beauty range if you've not checked it out. They have quite a lot of makeup in there. I've not tried the makeup itself, but I saw these and I thought this would be a good thing for me to try. These here, I've turned down my brightness a little bit so you can see them. These are from Primark, and as you can see, they're both exactly the same. These came in the same packet. I think there was 4 in this pack, where there was 2 of these, a pink one and this little yellow one. I have actually got these all mixed up together now in my cupboard, so I don't really remember what they were in the pack, but they came in a pack of multiple ones. Now these ones here swell up, as you can see. That's a dry one, that's a wet one, and it gets about 3 times as big as what it is when it's dry. Now these are, I'm going to say this, although they're fake, they are a better quality than the original beauty blender, because they are softer. And although, yes, they might degrade faster if you've got nails because they're softer, they're also cheaper. So that might ring bells to you, oh, they're cheap, so they're cheap quality, but they're not. It applies the foundation under your eyes. You could use this for concealer or powder, and it just melts it into the skin, so it doesn't even feel like you're wearing anything at all. This one here, although it does look like an original beauty blender, this one is hard. This one doesn't swell up like these ones do. So there is the difference in quality. Although they're in the same pack from Primark, this one doesn't swell up. Now there's also another pack that was in Primark, and these ones you can see I've used quite a lot. I actually use this one all the time to do my foundation, and these ones here came in a pack of these 2. These I think were $1.99 or something like that. This one here I use to apply my foundation all the time, and this one actually swells up and is really soft and has the same pliability like the original beauty blender. This is very similar to the one by Real Techniques. I don't actually have that, but I think it's in this colour, the one by Real Techniques, and it has kind of the end cut off to an angle. I really like these ones because you have that flat edge, which allows you to really disperse the product over your face and push it into the skin. And then you have the alternative like the original to just have that little pointy area where you can go under your eyes. I really like this type of beauty blender where it has that flat edge, just because you get that difference of textures, and this you can really use to like put foundation on, or if you're using coloured products, you can use it to apply it and then buff out by just like stippling it and pressing it on the face. So I do prefer these kind of beauty blenders over these original kind of like teardrop shaped ones. I like the versatility of having that little cut off edge. You have to be careful when you're using these. If you are using these wet with an oil based foundation, oil and water do not mix, so you are not going to have a very good time when you're trying to apply a foundation which has an oil base to it. They are just going to separate with the water and the oil on the skin, and you're not going to get a flawless finish. So you do have to look and consider what type of foundation it is you're using. Look at the ingredients on the back. If it has oils quite high up in the ingredients list, it's pretty certain that it's going to be an oil-based foundation. So you would not want to use that foundation with a wet beauty blender, because you're not going to get a flawless finish. It's just going to separate the product on your skin, and it's not going to look great at all. So consider that when you're using a wet beauty blender. If you with an oil product, if you were going to use an oil product, I'd use a synthetic brush, or I'd try using this like completely dry. Another set, these I actually got at Christmas, so it shows you I've been testing these for a while now. These come in this little reindeer set, and they are actually 3 different sizes of beauty blender, but these also don't swell up. When they get to that stiffness and they don't fill up with water and get hydrated, you run the risk of when you're applying foundation, it actually begins to take the product off. That is one real bad thing about these beauty blenders here, is sometimes if they are stiff like this and they're the fake versions, they do begin to take product off, whereas the original one won't do that, because it gets that hydration to it, and it smooths up and gets bigger, so it actually puts the foundation onto the skin. They all absorb product because they are latex sponges, but you run the risk of these stiffer ones when they're fake taking the product off, whereas you don't really get that with the original beauty blender. I hope this video was informative to you on beauty blenders. As I say, it doesn't matter if they're real or fake, it all comes down to the quality. So buy a few if you want them in your kit, if you're a professional makeup artist like I am, or if you use them all the time. So they are a good thing to have, and just give them a try, see if they are going to work for you, and if the quality is there like the original ones are. So please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All my social media links down in the description below if you want to come and follow me over there. And until next time, bye bye!